Okay, let's continue. What the?
Then quit talking and let's take her.
I don't know what's going on. I really do not know. I don't know how anything that just happened suggests that I've got demon magic, but whatever.
The Demon Lord will be so pleased.
Again, when I find out which one of you imps is talking right now, and I actually find you, I will beat the living daylights out of you once. I don't care. If I get the option to hit you, I will take it. Who? Before I could turn to search for the voices, I felt hands grab hold of my feet and I looked down and lifted my dress. You get the point. What was going to happen? Two pairs of hands, evil-looking hands, had taken hold of my ankles, reaching through a dark and purple pentagram. I shrieked, trying to pull my legs away, but I couldn't stop them as they swiftly pulled me into the ground. I was pulled deeper into the darkness. I was no longer in my room. I was being dragged through a dark void, one that I couldn't escape. I reached out and clawed at the darkness, trying to find something to grab onto. I tried to pull my legs away from the hands that were holding them, but couldn't pull free. What was going on? Why was this happening? Very good questions. No clue at this point. I really don't. Someone help me! As if someone had heard my screams, I suddenly felt the hands let go and disappear, leaving me to float in the darkness they left me in. Obviously, at that point, I felt something hard, and I shut my eyes. Please, let this be a dream. Please, let this be a dream. I finally felt a surface under my feet, and I collapsed onto it. My body curled in on itself from the experience I had. I didn't dare turn my eyes away from my lap, not ready to get up just yet. The voice I heard, however, made my heart stop.
You! What are you doing here?
I now have a reason to use the attack option on you. So be ready. I looked up, finally having the courage to take in my surroundings. My heart stopped beating for a moment, seizing my chest. Hello everybody, Diana! Brace yourself, love! Can't wait to see what you do. I looked up to see 5 figures. Strangers, monsters, beings that I didn't recognize. They all looked down at me in surprise, as if I dropped in at a bad time. One man looked like an orc from a fantasy game without the tusks. He had a broken horn and a very frightening aura around him. As he stared at me, the other male man was lanky in comparison, more human-like, but I could almost feel the power emanating from him regardless. One of the women who was staring at me had rabbit ears. Rabbit ears? They twitched on top of the head as she looked at me and gripped her staff. She seemed harmless, yet she had animal ears. The one creature that I couldn't discern the sex of seemed more excited to see me than surprised. What freaked me out about them was they had wings sticking out from their back and they were floating. The last woman, however, set off alarm bells in my head as I looked at her surprised face, her hair, her eyes. Diana. As she said, the woman turned her body towards me in recognition to the name I called her. It was her.
What are you doing here?
I could ask the same thing about you being in my goddamn mirror. But hey, I'm not going to question it. Just go ahead, sweetie. You were in my goddamn mirror. Diana walked towards me and stared down at me. It was odd. She didn't look like a human, yet I wasn't afraid of her demon form as it towered over me. I was more in shock as to what was going on. Before Diana could speak further, most likely to repeat herself, a figure quickly stepped up and bowed to her, kneeling beside me.
My lady, please forgive me. I felt something moving between our worlds and assumed the Demon Lord was to blame, so I intercepted his summoning of this human.
You two are going to look so adorable together. I really want to see what your kid is going to be like.
You! So I wasn't the only one who felt the change in the air.
Diana stared at the man kneeling beside me, as I kept my eyes at her. As she turned her gaze back to me, I gulped silently. What was she going to do with me? This all felt wrong. I was about to be married. I was about to live my happily ever after with the man I loved. Now I was in a place I didn't know with Diana and a bunch of other creatures I didn't recognize. My instincts was to attack. Why not? My mind couldn't help it. Here was the woman who had haunted me and forcibly taken my energy for departing from her life. She was defenseless. I jumped up, lifting him in my chest with one hand to move swiftly before grabbing Diana's throat and tapping her against the table behind her.
You little...
Stay back!
Despite me crushing Diana's knife, she held her hands out, stopping the beings around us from interfering. I didn't care. I wanted to hurt her. I wasn't supposed to be here. She had to be the reason I was pulled to this place against my will. She'd done damage to me before. She could do it again. What did she want with me? Why am I here, Diana? Why did you bring me here? Why did you take me away from my wedding?
I didn't bring you here!
Liar! You're the only one who could have done this to me. Why can't you leave me alone? Are you so angry that he picked me over you? That you kidnapped me on my wedding day?
Just listen!
All of a sudden, my mind went blank and my grip on Diana's throat relaxed. Releasing her, I felt myself step back from Diana as she stood up and curled over her body, coughing, gasping for air. I couldn't move my body. What was happening? I watched, unable to do anything as Diana snapped her fingers towards one of the beings in the room, the one who had called her Isaiah. Obediently, he rushed over to her and gently wrapped an arm around her shoulder, helping her up on her feet and standing her up straight. Diana looked up at him and brought him closer to her with her hands without him fighting back. As he got closer to her, she locked lips with him and both of them closed their eyes. Was she taking this energy? I couldn't exactly move, so all I could do was stare. After a short moment, Diana pulled away from the man, the person who was holding her backed away as well, bowing his head to her. Diana looked to me with an almost stone-cold gaze that chirped her neck.
I didn't bring you here. The Demon Lord, the boy's father, tried bringing you to his castle, and my servant interrupted the summoning, bringing you to me instead. You should be thankful that you're not dead right now.
I'm sorry, I saw your shadow version of you, and besides, I really want to see what happens when I attack you. I didn't want to believe her. Why would she care about me? She could kill me now and take the boys for herself, just like she wanted before. Diana stared at me and sighed before snapping her fingers and releasing me from her spell. I started on my feet, now feeling control of my body, but before I could attack her again, Diana held her arms out to her sides.
You may attack me again if you wish. However, I promise that hurting or killing me will not take you back to where you came from.
Diana, not knowing anymore if she was lying to manipulate me or telling the truth. There was no way to know with her. If she really didn't bring me here, then she was still responsible for keeping me. Send me back.
Are you calm?
Why are you even bothering with her, Succubus? She's a human.
Shh! Let them figure it out.
Indeed. The faster this gets settled, the faster we can get back to our council.
I kept my eyes on Diana, not wanting to trust her, but having to anyway. This was beyond wrong. I had to go along with it in order to get back. I nodded to Diana, and she sighed softly in relief. I looked around at the other beings in the room. They all kept their gazes on me, unsure of what I would do or say. Diana, however, led the conversation.
First, can you tell me what happened to you?
Well, I saw a shadow version of you. Could you please tell me where your shadow version came from? And I said he's not going to be in this demo for an explanation, because that'd be the first thing I talked to you about. It would be me turning around and going, what were you doing to my goddamn mirror, you horrible swine? I took a breath, recounted everything that happened, and I was about to go to church, to be married, and then I was attacked by this dog, and a couple of hands grabbed my legs and pulled me into it, and then I fell here.
A shadow summoning?
Yes, I know, completely, and, you know, oh my god, it's shadow summoning. Can I just point out, though, wouldn't it make more sense to ask Diana about the goddamn shadow version of her in the mirror? And that would explain why my character went for her, because, no offense, you were there, all of a sudden I get kidnapped, and now I'm here. Yeah, I'd be completely goddamn suspicious at this point. Even though I know it's not her doing. Diana turned to one of the beings, the lanky man, and glared.
One of yours couldn't have.
On my honor, it wasn't any of mine. We have nothing to gain from kidnapping a human. Nor do we know who this woman is, anyhow.